guys got? No, wait a second. You went to the store.
No. You see the thing like that.
Ali.
Klaus, Ali, Björn, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, probably they went with the Björnstad. Yeah, Zigger. Volvo.
Yeah.
Man, that's this of the. You know, we came there to rental and that was kind of the only left. So they gave us an upgrade. When we saw our upgrade, we were like, this is a nice upgrade.
Yeah, we also actually got an upgrade. We would have also had a smaller car, so the Octavia is already an upgrade. Because we were supposed also not to just take Ali, but also to take boxes for the Christmas tree, but then somehow managed to get it in the other car.
Oh, and you got collect on and on. You were supposed to go with that. Because that's how I understood. Did you bring on and on?
No, just Ali.
Oh, seriously? How did on and on with that?
No idea.
Because we were showing from the rental, they didn't have to collect the. Yeah, these are some fancy things. No, I mean, no worries. I don't know what it is.
So, forecast is if they're not at any time soon, we'll move on to Route 1 or so.
I don't know. I'm trying to
schedule for today's one.
The car?
Yeah,
Lunch is pretty good, yeah.
Wait,
You're so confused. You wrote the schedule.
yeah. Oh, that's why it's.
No, but you know it's PM.
Yeah,
Wednesday lunch.
chicken hot pot.
chicken hot pot. You are a chicken hot pot.
I'm going to take that as a great compliment.
No, with that camera, you all look like a chicken hot pot. You look like, I don't know what. Imagine somebody looking at this data, so they must be wondering later on, what was in their head, you know, all to.
I think, it's really going to turn out to be a study on what happens when you squeeze people's heads with a camera strap for a minute.
Hey, that's why I was tired yesterday.
That's why we have a control group without cameras, right?
Yes. And the result is impaired brain function.
I'm not joking, yesterday evening I had a brain fog. This thing is too tight.
This was not a camera.
We got kicked out now from a bar. You got not two uses?
Yeah. Sure.
For our capacity, that's like.
Was there leftover rice?
Yes. It's
Where
in the fridge.
It's in the fridge.
Where else would it be?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
And I think most people didn't finish that in. But there also like some good flour.
I didn't hear it, I think.
That lady was really in the hurry to leave.
Yeah.
You had bad days to come to my bar, and you appear at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
As we look at
Actually, you will say it as a joke.
German lieutenant from
She was nice. She's capable. She's good enough to play herself.
Yeah. Well, I guess you need to, when you live out here, you need to do a number of things on yourself.
I mean, I've never seen somebody left, right, you know. She did the cleaning also later, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Nhìn chở bóng đó.
Very capable. And I think she's also on the piano now, maybe 60.
500 điểm thôi hả anh?
Ôi. Ủa, hơi kiếm hay phim đi chứ?
Bố ơi, bố lại.
Oops.
Yeah.
No.
So, 200.
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Most people think they're overqualified for everything. They give them my group, they will think,
40.
Venom.
Yeah,
it's just like some
47 là 101, 101 như vậy là 28.
Vẫn hay.
uncompressed decompressed.
Anh nhớ. Ủa ghê.
210.
I'm supposed to
I-
be
I-
doing
I-
this probably with the things to do.
You wanna ready?
I'm really bad at that.
Yeah.
It's easy.
No,
Oh,
you.
I'm so good. Oh.
You are very bad at that. Okay.
You convinced me.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'm really bad at that.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously, I'm good for some reason.
I think you should probably not throw any further. I don't think it gets better.
Yes, I got that capture. Not doing that thing.
So speaking of master students, so we've seen immediately like the master level some Taco Program. Do you see this master student max?
Wow.
Used to be
Nope. Hey.
with the really cool things.
180.
180.
So those are good to visual. You just see somebody. Yeah, the master's level it was very clear that
Yeah.
if he's made for it.
Yeah.
You was.
Tầm 8 rồi.
7 rồi.
Can I try?
Okay. You're not allowed to play.
Right.
You can play with the ball on Christmas tree.
No. I didn't do it.
That's the kind
Oh my
Ah,
god!
the food has arrived.
They like it.
of I think about it.
No, nobody go to the door. No.
Hey, somebody, door.
I think the other went.
Ah.
I would have gone if he hadn't been on his way
No.
already.
No, I'm too bad at it. Hey. You just put me out 80 to 30.
This is incredibly relaxing.
Yeah.
Not quite 100, but
I'm not sure if you like
Do it again.
how reproducible is this?
Everything is ready for running.
Hey, boss.
Everything is ready for the oven.
Let's go, boss.
Yes, let's go. We go to the oven.
Let's
Everything
go. Let's go. Hey, boss.
Oh,
Hey,
too bad.
Got a lot of vegetables.
Super.
Ginger, shallot,
You're not using the weak oven, right?
no.
We got another 235 euros.
235 euros.
What? We went shopping. Yeah, what have you been doing?
Did you get cheese?
We got lots of cheese.
Oh god.
Why? Ali?
Yeah, what? What? Why are you giving me this? There.
You wanted us.
Oh, you
For your
want.
house. You said you only have one left. No, not this
No,
one.
this dishwashing.
Hello.
Dishwashing
Where's
tablet.
breakfast?
Just leave it here.
This one is the dishwasher.
Yes,
The
for the
ladies,
dishwasher.
Björn, the ladies of the house,
I'll take it.
you know.
No, no, just get it in there. Got the big one here.
One.
That's only has 18, that's not gonna work. This is the big one. Dishwasher salt. Yeah,
I'll start doing stuff on here.
Yeah. Like that
Oh,
one.
no. Yeah, put on the camera.
You know which button? I need a kitchen like this, you know. Good morning.
Yeah.
Không cái đâu thì sẽ không để.
And we need the film.
Cái gương này giờ nó dính gì?
Nhưng ngủ dậy rồi tối dậy.
With a fantastic hurt.
Yeah, so đấy.
Good morning. Oh, yeah, yeah. Good morning. Yes.
After I was let in, I was okay. It took me a while. First time I
Wait a second. Ah, I should have very effortlessly. Well, I got some missed call from.
second time I'm like,
Oh!
yeah,
From around the
the doors.
Because I looked at the phone, is that very sure?
If there's nothing, there's nothing
Just
there. Yeah, I mean, I know the thing class, but it's just the exciting dialogue we had at Frankfurt Airport where he meets. Yeah. Yeah, but I was already working I saw the line you were losing, so I tried to call you. So, there's coffee, anyone want to talk about
Is this done or maybe I shouldn't give it too much, no?
stronger than the else.
Did you take one or this is your first?
I did 1.5 or so.
Okay.
But I'm kind of used to it, so.
Yeah, sometimes, you know,
I have a very small line.
you love it, kid. These cousins that are used to Italian. Regular machine grade office coffee. So if I order with their coffee, that's like a drama. Was it? Wait a second, let me see if somebody is important call. I don't think the camera is yellow fish.
No, it's in the other room.
Yeah,
But yeah, but you don't want to put them in the fridge.
Where's Tia?
Come here.
Right, yeah, before your turn, it's fine, yeah.
You need to hold.
Okay.
No, I'm talking.
Anybody want towels washed? I'm gonna wash towels on camera. Yeah, bring them all down.
Can you come here?
Now,
Go.
what you could do is some of the kitchen towels if you want.
Yeah, with them as well.
Adam, yeah.
Okay, right?
He says.
All right.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Mind the tray.
I thought he said he from here, but now we put this one. All right, at 9.
Yes.
No, this is.
It should be safe. We've got an hour. Very much.
Yeah, I'm very worried about the
Which case?
It's still frozen?
Yes.
Good.
Still frozen? Very good.
Confirm to me.
And they are, two of these croissants are maple something. Because they only had 10.
Okay.
We cleared out the regular croissants completely.
Okay, but then we have enough, I guess.
I think we also finished all of the water.
Because Stefan was worried, but actually it turns out we have 2 of those croissants for everyone, and I give those
Right.
Thank you.
Yay, great.
Yeah, really.
It just struck me.
What?
We are gonna make the news, you know why? If any case is this data set, and since it's coming there, when turning on camera to synchronize with this QR code, you know what's gonna happen? They're not going to. That's it. They're coming to synchronize chip in a brain and vaccine content. With the latest orders from
From the high command.
High Command. Mothership is coming.
I mean, now that you mention it, I can tell you that I got a COVID booster vaccination just a week before coming here. So,
5G is already there.
No, 6G. His brain interface ready. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I said when I got the first explanation. It's completely useless. I can't pay with the chip they injected me. I can't open my office door. So what is it for?
Yeah. What's it good for? Exactly.
I went through entire hustle, not once, multiple times.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
And I still have to use the phone to check 12 minutes for the oven.
Why?
Let's put those croissants.
No, I want to do as much as possible.
This? Two of these croissants, Stefan, are maple something.
You know which ones?
Yeah, they look different.
The ones
The
that
one
have,
on top,
that
the-
have almonds on top,
Yes.
right? Okay, then I put it on a separate plate.
We cleared out all of the croissants and they had like €4 or something like this. So we
And how's the stock? Is it yeah, red one? No, just wondering.
it had frozen spinach. So.
You know what? You may be
If you search
That
separately,
tells you if it's a really high-end store, they have frozen spinach.
I mean it's the same place they went to earlier, right? And
Yeah.
they didn't find it.
Yeah.
So basically, if they have it, if you search separately, no?
Yeah.
So you may be laughing as much as you want, but for a place at the very edge of the continent,
If you wanna,
Apparently,
there's sugar in there.
is it really sugar? Because I was looking what it is.
Yes, it is.
Ah,
It's
it's
just
only
gonna
kind of
be.
wet.
Yes.
Can we use it or not?
Yes, sure. It's sugar.
Then I do it for a coffee.
Apparently, Ballyconneely is not entirely unknown to the Irish population.
Yeah.
It's a beach. People come here to the beach apparently.
Okay.
You presented me.
Good.
This
Yes.
is like
I have a very important task for you.
Ah,
Do you want to lick those clean?
I can do one. Well, somebody has to look at me, right?
We all look at you. And what's the other one?
Let's change the.
Here we go, another grandpa, you know.
Sorry.
He's just looking at his
I grew up.
grandson. You know.
Okay,
I grew up doing this.
Stefan, here you go.
Hey, I
It's a
have
very
too much
important-
sugar already. Give it to Werner. Werner,
Yes.
listen.
Do I have to do anything with the time? We just turn it on and press go? You, off. Yeah, this is my first time turning it on.
Single time.
Oh, there is something.
no, but-
SD card.
You have
Power.
to try again. Unplug, turn it off, unplug, give it a bit, try again.
It smells so good, Stefan.
Yeah.
You're a chef. This was IKEA action. You know?
Oh, you want for me?
What's
You
that?
take your shampoo. We have banana or we have,
What is that, man?
banana shampoo.
Banana shampoo.
Cái món xong rồi.
I've never seen it.
I think
Good that you.
Klaus, I think Cahill takes the banana shampoo.
Yeah. Really?
You can start laughing again.
Especially because
You chose that.
It's not on again.
Hey, come on,
He
guys.
didn't have enough yesterday.
Come on, guys. There was no pineapple.
Single down here.
So we have to go bananas.
I'm not straight.
You should have.
Hey, it's good to move that. Cahill,
Yo.
move that shampoo from a kitchen. Somebody's gonna mistake it as a topping for pancakes.
Yeah.
Banana smoothie.
No, hang on, Stefan. Stefan, did you get a shampoo? Boss. Did you get a shampoo? I bought 3 shampoos. One was for him.
Stefan,
They're done.
pay attention.
Is that 12 seconds?
Nói chung là nó là một
Did you get a
rất là
shampoo?
bở.
Yeah, yeah.
Đậu phộng nhảy bút.
Uh,
Nấu là nước phở thì mình cũng
yeah, okay.
Với lại công ty bảo rồi là phải bắt thường không da lên.
First one. Oh no.
Vì da thì để cho nó
What? Gì?
bớt hơn.
Chocolate.
Cocoa.
Coconut.
I suggested coconut.
I think
Coconut or banana?
Chocolate and banana.
Cocoa butter.
Cacao.
Coconut. Put it in your pocket.
thank you.
Cái hãng nó là nó đậu quá tình nè.
Chocolate and banana.
Yes, but this is really, really big for some reason. It has also very different units. This is 0 to 6. All the other ones are with degrees. I'm assuming these are 0 to 6 degrees because it was so weak.
Okay.
It's
Probably just for keeping food warm.
Yes.
It might be your heat.
I made a mistake, I went to the room, but I guess it's okay. Yeah. Did you ever go?
No.
If you managed to, I went to the room by mistake.
But if there is nothing that is
You mean with the video?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
not sure what stuff you have lying around in your room.
If
The wall doesn't want to
Stefan,
but,
if you didn't look at the hostages, then very
Okay, so there is
Okay,
a...
does anybody want a towel washed?
No, wait a second, do we have the glove? Glove.
Take tablecloth.
Give me your towels.
Do we need to prepare more coffee?
Yes, I need for someone to bring that one.
Yes, I will do that. I'll wash it. You got your own, you got your own.
But you know what's weird? These right ones are done,
Florian refused to swap with
and the
him.
left ones not near close. Look at this. How is this possible? I sent them the same, I think. No, this is incredible. Then, so these ones are overdone, and I was looking from there these, and they are not even a kind of.
Exactly, that's what I said. That one is useless.
Sure.
Move it over. Yeah.
So let me then decrease this one a little bit.
Anybody else want fresh towels?
Is this okay?
What?
Is this okay?
Washed and dry towels. There's a towel service happening this morning.
You know what I mean?
I would
there
like
is-
that.
there is
Just
food
because my
here.
towels are so
I'm trying
damp
to
and
say
they're not
something.
drying properly.
Yeah, go for it.
Say something. I
You're on
want
camera.
to see, like what we were saying yesterday. Look at this. Look at this. They are not even breathing, and this one's overdone. I don't know what's wrong with this.
They're perfect. Okay. Are my camera working?
Yes.
I'll bring my towels.
Yeah, I trust you.
Anybody else want a towel washed?
Where's it cold brew? It's hot.
No, no, nobody wants towels washed.
Where do I bring the towels?
To me.
Excellent. I'll be right back.
Mark, we just moved in for it. And then it depends if you do coffee town style or.
This one is not even
Or real.
Do a proper copy.
Yeah, it is actually.
Go to a camel stand, apparently.
Somebody's phone ringing.
Somebody's phone is
You
ringing.
get coffee as well?
Mine. I'm not. Yeah, look at this. This one's, I was looking at this. Look at this. Nothing. No. I didn't even start. And these ones were done properly. So this side doesn't work anything.
On the back, doesn't work.
Yeah, it works, but very slowly. Actually, Ali, I think it may be related also to what we noticed with some of these. This one, for example, is very crappy, remember?
Yeah.
I sent you euros already.
Yes.
Plus five.
That's good.
You check them all together. 200 euros.
Yeah.
Versus 40 euros.
It was late.
Grind coffee. That's what it is. That's a lot of work.
You make fresh coffee?
Yeah.
These Europeans like very strong coffee.
So you're playing on your own?
Yeah,
Fully support
that.
One type of solitaire. So, but if you want to play cards, then
Smells so good.
what games do you play?
Typically poker, but
Yeah.
I'm open.
Open to learn something new. No, I mean, so you don't have any traditional card games?
In Austria we have Schnapsen.
Schnapsen, what's this?
It's I don't know, it's a very specific game. There's 4 different colors, 5 I think maybe.
Anybody? Anybody?
Six different types per color.
Okay.
And yeah, you pay until 65 points.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So it's a different deck.
You want
Yeah,
to
completely
put on the
different.
table?
Okay.
Yeah, I have the cards with me. Maybe with Werner I can play.
Okay.
Yes.
So we had a game called Rummy.
Rummy, yeah.
Rummy. Rummy on it.
I know.
So you can put on sequences or matching things. Alright. So let's see if we're talking about the same game.
I think it's a very long time ago I played that probably.
So you can
Okay, but you need to remember me.
So you can put down sequences of. So the goal is to get rid of cards, right?
Yes.
And every turn you have to draw one.
Yeah.
You have to put down one, and in between
Okay.
you may put down either sequences of the same suit, or you can put down like 3 or 4 threes or 3 or 4 fours.
Okay. What counts more?
I think just at the end, whoever wins, you basically get the points left on their. No, sorry. You get the points here, but they just count normal.
Yeah.
Like you just count so 10 is a 10, Jack is 11, and so on. And then you subtract whatever you have on your hand.
Okay. But if I put down 3, 4, for example,
Yes, that's just 12.
just 12, and across 4, 5, 6, but it must be of the same color, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it.
You get to go again. Hang back.
Okay, and I start with.
Yes, you start. You have to draw.
Draw first.
Always draw and always put down.
Okay. Okay.
Not bad.
And I think I think the deuces are wild.
Yes.
So you can use them, the wild cards. So you can use them for anything.
The 2 is a white card.
Yes. So the way you used to play, you cannot actually put down on the first round. So neither of us can put down the first round.
Here. Okay.
Right.
Oh. Yes.
And you can draw. So the options are you can draw one from here. You can take the top card, or you can take the entire
Okay, somebody
stack.
else go first.
Okay.
Me too.
Unorthodox strong technique.
The entire stack from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, for example,
I remember. I think. Great
And if you put something down and you have one more card that matches, you can put down. You can extend on your card. Right. So now you can do this.
I can put down this one, right?
Yes. Exactly.
And I can. Oh.
I did actually my. You don't think it's? I think it is.
So now, so twos are wild. So I can extend yours.
So you can extend mine also?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And then this is for aces. And I would say one.
Okay, so you are doing that. Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And basically, the rule was that when counting, you used to count the twos and twos here. But if they're on your hand, they're 20.
The twos, really?
Yes, because they're wild card. So if you leave them, if you haven't used them,
And a queen and a king, and they're all 10.
well, they're 10, 11, 13, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe they're 18. But this one is basically on the table it's 2, on your hand it's 20.
No.
Okay.
So I think these are the rules.
There was a glue. There was a glue.
Things in our village that played this through school when they had a book and they were writing down scores. And they did this like for months at some point. Always keeping track of the scores. And it's going up and down of course, normally around 0.
Incredible. How many cards?
8. 3, 2, 3.
It's okay.
3
It's gonna be a very fun time
and 3.
I can go first. You're white. That's true. In real life, in chess.
Okay.
And there was a, if you put down like everything, if you close by, so not on the third round, remember?
Oh,
If you
took
close,
something out tomorrow.
if you close
yesterday
by
already?
emptying your hand
started the
completely,
process.
Okay.
that would give like a 50 bonus.
No, you're gonna do it properly or do it first?
Yeah.
Then you don't paint it first.
And you can only put down the same type if there are at least 3.
At least 3.
Yeah.
So you can always only put down 3.
No.
And like 3 is the minimum.
Okay.
Now you can draw, put down whatever you want.
Okay. So and I can also use this one here, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, perfect.
The workshop happens during the breakfast.
Yeah.
Now, for me, as a strategy,
I have also white card here.
okay, there you go. Yes,
Yeah, and
then you
then I
can do it.
say Ronnie.
Yes. Alright, so I was gonna say, if you couldn't finish, then I would not use the wild card.
Yes.
Because I would keep it as an option for extending, because you might get, you might get 9, 10, you might get a jack here.
Yes,
And then 2 wild cards would actually
Okay.
work, right, but in this case it doesn't matter. Yes, right?
Okay.
Good?
So,
It's fun, funny game.
And it extends nicely to 3-4 people. Not just a few people. Beyond that, you start to run out of cards. The most fun is when you have a big stack and you get everything, because then you can, even if you lose the game, you can sometimes get lots and lots and lots of points.
Oh, I see.
If you're counting the points, it can actually pay off.
Yeah. So I have to draw one.
Yeah, always draw.
And put down one.
Yes.
Not sure which one, but yeah.
There's absolutely no
Because
harm.
you don't know anything. You don't know anything about my hand
Yeah.
yet. So,
Turn on the camera. Sometimes I do very bad.
yeah.
Look at his camera.
Look at the camera. It's not that's not a picture, right?
In the front.
Yeah, but this is reflection.
Oh, right. And of course we should, turn that. You see it?
Almost.
Yes. But we should do this, right? It's alright.
This is funny.
I guess we're ready for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's your turn, right?
No,
It's my breakfast.
Okay.
Oh, breakfast.
Yeah.
Change seats.
I can
Wait, that one was still alive. I did not manage to take your rook all the way back there. That would be quite impressive, I think.
It's teleportation.
Very good.
Sorry, there are 2 seats that have
Oh, where's the other one?
Yeah.
Then I guess this is my seat. Very good. Do we have milk?
Not good. I have to draw one.
Always.
Or did I draw already?
No, you didn't.
I know. Ah, you're right, you know what?
Very sweet.
I have chilled orange juice made from concentrate.
Not good.
How is
I feel like made from concentrate just means this is already pre-mixed rewadi.
Mm-hmm.
What about the vitamins?
Wherever you like. But right
Running
on.
me.
So again, it's like,
Card game. You can check the video.
but then you go on and
Basically, the goal is to get rid of the cards. You can put down like rows of suits, so like 4, 5, 6 in the same color, or you can put down like 5, 5, 5 in different colors, always in the 3. 2s are wild, and then you always have to draw. You also have to put
How
down the
much did we
card.
get the comically oversized
And then
pack of cornflakes?
Actually, talk people would want it.
Whoever gets rid of the cards first.
you want to get cancelled.
That's a rough idea.
No,
So now we had very short games so far, and now it's a longer one. And you can draw one here, one from the top, or you can take the whole stack.
You can open that like that?
Yes.
And now he's finished. Oh my god. That was the card I needed.
Like the low sugar is
Alright, so let's go good first. I also explained the rules, right? So yes. So this game is
High fat.
Then you have the medium flat.
Alright, high protein, high
Everything high.
if everything is high, then everything.
High alcohol, high caffeine.
This is concentrate, right? You put water in.
No, not the milk. The milk is not concentrated.
Milk concentrate.
There is such a thing, you know.
So my business. 6 December, it's apart from now.
It's on far right there.
Do we have to shake it?
No, I should. There is no. I should one of the orange juice. Okay, I don't know which one.
Oh, you're drinking orange. Orange and green.
There's no bacon concentrate.
High on oranges.
I put in there, I will give it to us.
So, which one was cooked by Stefan?
Okay. I'll try one of Stefan.
Which one was pre-made?
It's on chocolate.
Yes, it's very nice. I eat this.
I stone
I want to ask, do we have
You can cook, you can buy them in those.
They're looking for butter.
butter and cheese?
I don't think we have butter.
Oh, we have no cheese. Shall I cut some cheese?
You're the hardest person to get out. Stay where you are. Okay, sit down, sit down.
Okay, we need some cheese.
Cheese and butter.
Cheese and butter.
You want some nice apple
In the
butter?
fridge?
Yeah. So just like putting the cheeses and one bowl for cutting and a knife.
Okay.
They are in the door, you know.
IKEA.
IKEA.
They're from IKEA.
No,
They're from IKEA.
someone sent me required.
They come with the screws and everything.
No,
Minimal is required.
Yep. First might be this one.
I didn't know what to do till you're back, so probably unnecessary.
So here's the butter.
Ah,
Thank you.
That's a good one.
It's a good
Yeah,
butter.
yeah,
So we use for cooking a lot for the Irish breakfast.
So I use the other one because this one's salted.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Some cheese.
Not salted.
Okay.
And do we have board for cutting? Maybe board for cutting, like the plastic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. French gruyere.
Yeah. But we all did the same burger. I did my own burger. It's fine, I eat another kind of burger.
So there's more IKEA cheese.
Yes.
Before you open that one, maybe you want to use the one that's
Yeah,
already
yeah.
started.
I did not think that you were serious when you said you bought more cheese, but now we have. I think if we only had the cheese, we would not
Oh,
starve.
it's IKEA cheese, right?
There's no calories.
No, let's share it.
Last the whole day.
It's honestly, I think.
I cannot
then
find any
we
ball.
just
Oh, no,
order.
there is.
Okay.
Because
We are all going to be cheese. We're converging towards cheese.
80% of you got
We're eating a little bit of everything, but the cheese replenishes much faster than the rest.
Is that tea?
The teapot? Yes, this is tea.
Actually, is it done already or I guess it's
Okay, do it now.
This one is also.
Essentially, it's very full.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
oh, yeah, exactly. There we go.
Ah.
Okay. I see.
Saved.
That's fine.
No.
We have two each.
So I'm cutting some cheese for whoever wants.
Thank you. No, it's gonna take change.
You need to come.
Yeah, I know. That went fast. We have 71 now.
Yeah.
Angry seagulls / scavengers.
Yeah.
Probably a better knife this somewhere. This would be with this juice. Let's take some.
So this is some
Vintage cheddar.
pecan maple
Cheddar.
thing. These two.
Oh,
These
no, no,
two.
no,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
no,
These two.
no,
These two.
those two. Pecan maple.
That was nice, yeah.
Maybe maybe I bring a knife and twist later, or?
Oh yeah. I mean, we can just grab it.
Let's just put it on.
No, this is fine.
More vintage cheddar coming, vintage cheddar. Ooh, this is very vintage.
Oh, it's that cheese.
What do they mean by vintage? Somebody forgot it for
It's like this.
It's pistachio though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Put
okay.
cheese,
I mean, it's good.
lime,
Yeah,
nuts.
okay. I think I forgot that I was tasting.
It's basically
So
vintage
those are
storage of that.
Pistachio. But it's
So
maple,
what
right?
did you eat?
Oh, that is this cheese that we forgot about 10 years ago. Let's go.
That's probably a mistake.
Let's call it vintage and declare it the future.
You know the big ones each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no, too
Wow,
much.
you guys.
But did you manage to finish like those like grams?
Yes.
No, we haven't done it yet.
Oh, man, you can put it here also.
Yeah, I put it here. Maybe I put it here because this is way too far, because it's very full, so
He's
you have to
thinking
be
of
careful
his
pulling
1
it.
kilogram steak.
1 kilogram.
Christmas celebration.
Beans.
We got
What do you do with it?
This is some Irish man.
This Christmas? Oh, no. At his house?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Guys, I
Okay.
think cheese.
Boss?
Yes.
Speech.
No, I thought he wants some speech.
Who's speaking?
Bjorn?
I don't know.
No?
I didn't recognize.
Yeah, put it here and I'll move it.
No, this one. Yeah.
Bjorn has something to say?
Oh.
Please, Björn, stand up.
He already said something like, I will try to translate it, something like.
I'll put it there. You take it from there.
So officially the workshop for today has now begun.
Yeah.
Our task for today is as follows. We must decide on what is the appropriate task for a grand challenge of ACM Multimedia, and we will consider a hackathon as well, but multimedia is a key thing today. We were given the money by SIGAMN. They requested that we run something that's like VBS or LSC, or VBS and LSC actually, at ACM Multimedia. Get together, figure it out, do it.
And it has to be interactive.
They didn't say that, but since they said it has to be like, it should be like VBS / LSC, it probably is something with an interactive element to it. Data set release, bit of training data, maybe a closed workshop and a public open session. Right? That is what I think is gonna, I think it's gonna happen. And so looking for something that's not the obvious, release a data set, set a date, get people together, run a challenge, give some topics, Q&A and ad hoc, and see what happens. That's the default approach. Is there something you want to do that's better or more novel than that? Does anybody have any ideas? Let's worry about the challenge first and the hackathon.
But the question is, does the challenge have to have one single task, or could it be multiple ones?
It's up to us. There's a workshop, and no, I imagine there will be an associated workshop and a grand challenge tied to the workshop.
Because I think
I vote multiple.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also thinking, like, I mean, given the bias we'll have in the data set, there is a lot on research on multimedia for cooking, eating. So basically, one task would be basically do whatever you have on your data set and just test it on this data set. Don't use any training data from this data set. See how this transfers to new data. And of course, I guess we want to do something like more LSC style interactive queries. I mean, from the backlog of things that we want to do is one thing that we always for VBS also had was trying to see how precisely you phrase queries or how simple you keep the language. There's always this tension between use simple words that everyone understands versus being precise. So that might be something also to study, but this is of course needs comparison. So either you split it at two groups. If we have enough participants, that could work, but we don't know in advance probably.
Because I think we should like do a hybrid benchmark for everyone to compare their model when they make a new idea. But for annual competition, we should like change the task to new one and motivate them to with a new idea or train the method to compete with other teams. So yeah, that's my idea.
The usual grand challenge formats, which I think we should stick to at least for the part that we label as grand challenge, is an asynchronous operation. You get your data, you get your task, you get your time to process, to do whatever it is you think you need to do to solve the task. You send in your results, you get your scores back, and there's going to be result presentation of everybody or the top scoring teams depending on the area.
It's not very alike to LSE and VBS.
Yeah, I mean this is
Doesn't have to
something
be live.
we can do on top of this. That we have a session where something happens live. But I would
that's what
definitely
they literally asked us. I mean, that's one thing that makes this format very unique, this interaction. And why is it kind of, I think, interesting that we look at some form of interaction in the age of these conversational systems, because these are conversational systems even from the beginning.
So we can do some kind of data mining where they build a system, more like exploration system, and then at the challenge we will have very specific questions for that. For example, like regarding group dynamics, so they will have to build a system that can visualize the group dynamics and show some kind of interaction like more and very user experience based. And then at the challenge we ask some questions live, and they have to use the system to answer that. It's like who did I talk to the most today or something like that. But these questions are only released at the challenge live.
Yeah, so I would just not limit it to something like this, because the barrier of entry for these sort of things is very high. Right, so you need a complete stack to be able to do this interaction.
Asynchronous and synchronous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just give out some tasks, people can put some algorithms together however they want. It only needs to run exactly once on whatever resources they might have, and they can produce those results. Right? This might not cover all the things, but it is certainly for some interesting tasks, it might be entirely sufficient that they can build their thing. It runs on whatever they have. It will take a while to run. We will produce some output. We will look at the output and tell them how well they did.
So something that has a low barrier to entry, asynchronous submission to take part in the grand challenge, but there is an interactive element to the grand challenge, which is going to a workshop, which is somehow different than hackathon.
And I guess the hackathon should have all the things we can not evaluate, whereas there either we don't have a ground truth or there cannot be a ground truth because there is some
some ambiguity there. Whereas the challenges should have a clear mechanism by which you can tell, okay, how much of this you got right.
We kind of do this with NTCAO, right? That email I send out periodically and everybody knows. We kind of do this with NTCAO, where we do have this asynchronous challenge. You build your system, you give me the queries, which we've got to look at we read the queries. The queries are more descriptive than an LSE query. It has a title, a description, and then a narrative that says, oh, eating breakfast is relevant only if it includes Werner. Just a description like that makes it very, very clear. And people do that in their own time. By a certain date, they submit the runs. We pool all people's runs together and generate a ground truth. We don't evaluate everything. It's not a complete ground truth, it's a pooled ground truth. So it's never going to be perfect, but it's going to be sufficient to differentiate systems. That we can do a lot of hard. Okay, that's simple. We do it a lot of. The challenge here is that it's probably a bit more difficult data to work with, but that's great. Then we can do some really interesting interactive things in that workshop, where the queries are different, like some kind of, really this interaction queries we have. So the time I was talking to Ali about the TCR query we hadn't yet released. What was the outcome? What was the outcome of that conversation? Those kind of things, much nicer things to do. And that's really interesting, I think, for an interactive challenge. Not just find it.
But this is a different. This is also somewhat difficult to evaluate because I mean we need to phrase this very precisely because what was the outcome of this conversation is not something that has a precise answer.
But that's what we do with the judges, right? The judges make decisions in
yeah, but I currently what we have is like the judges get something that is a very short answer with some degrees of freedom, but if you like ask for outcome of a conversation, you could write a paragraph on that.
Yeah, okay, we limit the, like we do this with the Q&A things already. What airline? Oh, Turkish Airlines, or whatever, Turkish, fine, okay.
No, we do it. We only don't phrase it like that. So basically how the queries in a non-item, and I think, not in NetHub, but in non-item, I think, are formulated. That's multi-turn retrieval. If we don't go for a full conversation, but conversational search, for example, it's pretty much how you formulate and evaluate queries. So you provide a bit of information that people start looking, then it's funny, you know, the microphone people say, okay, nobody finding, and then typically Werner or you kind of says, additional piece of information, you know. Like that girl running up the hill with the father towards the flag. Then you provide the next bit of information.
But what is the target? Is it a pure retrieval task, as in find the end of this conversational chain for this example, or is it a you need to somehow summarize this conversation into two phrases?
Evaluating summary is super difficult.
But
most of us did it at some point.
Maybe my example was bad. It doesn't necessarily have to be the outcome of the conversation. It can be the outcome of cooking breakfast on the third day. How many croissants were left? Whatever is that kind of query. We make the query something that actually you can identify and be pretty sure is correct or reasonably correct.
Yes, but this is a easy fact finding. And then you could either have a pure value as a result, as in I did something, my answer is 3, I'm not going to tell you how I got it. Or you have to actually identify the crossals and say, oh, show me all the instances, and then I can go, oh yeah, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3. There's actually 3 at this one.
The issue at IV or 4B, where one of the teams, actually on the team, the guy was guessing the answers.
Yeah.
He guessed it right twice.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Very badly.
Yes.
So you're moving towards like reasoning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Providing evidence.
Yeah.
That's what Tractor did, remember? Multimedia event detection was, and that was what they call summarization. And it was a bit of a blasphemy to call it a summarization because it was just evidence. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess you can get to multiple levels. You can just provide an explanation and say, because I have seen those things on 3 pictures, that's how I come, or you really provide a list of evidence and say, this is the picture, this is the picture.
Yeah, you can provide a distance and the timestamp.
That's asynchronous then, right?
Meta task was asynchronous.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it in a synchronous thing as well if you have a system doing it. But of course, if you do that in an interactive way and you have things that the user reasons and the system doesn't know about, then it gets difficult. Yeah, but at least I mean, I guess it could be interesting to build a system that also can keep this evidence. So basically, that when you provide the answer, you have the things you looked at and say, well, this is the information I used to come up with the answer.
I would like to bring an additional aspect to this discussion, because the Grand Challenge traditionally was always funded by companies and in a way that they also get some output, right? And even though I fully agree with all of you that we need interactive challenges, I think for the Grand Challenge as ACM Multimedia, we could also maybe do some subtasks like labeling. For example, many people in multimedia are working on food recognition. So it could be a collaborative annotation task also. And then later on, from that collaborative annotation, we could extract metadata and later on maybe use it for the interactive challenges as a ground truth, even though it might not be completely correct, of course.
But as a challenge, if you put it as a challenge, how do you evaluate it? I mean, the challenge has kind of this competition character.
Is that the hackathon stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's more hackathon. Yeah.
Looking at what came into that meeting in ACM Multimedia on the first morning, it was a health-based hackathon. That's what they wanted to do, and we're naturally going to feed into that if we use this data.
I mean, there's some very interesting things we can do about this. I mean, for example, all of these things have barcodes on them.
Right.
So you can cross-reference this with the International Product Database and know exactly what this was, and then you can track how much of this happens to be fresh milk. I agree. How much of this was consumed over what amount of time, right? And I mean, essentially, it will be difficult to track who actually consumed what, but the methodology would be applicable if you have a smaller group of people. For a health tracking, you can say, okay, what did I actually eat? What is my nutritional profile, just based on things I've seen. This sort of stuff. I think this would be fascinating for a hackathon. It would be very difficult for the Grand Challenge, because how do you evaluate this? Because we are not all secretly keeping track and having a ground truth.
Maybe just one comment to this, because TrackQuit also does this part-based evaluation, right? Where they evaluate with some manual effort 10% of the submissions, and then approximate how much there will be.
Yeah, but if you do that, for example, with product annotations, I mean, even 10%
is
it's a crazy amount of work.
You're right.
So there are some Grand challenges if you look at it. The way I kind of participated also in some, the one that we won in New York Melange, that was 10 years ago in Monza. That one was brought by IBM, and because they were based in New York, like they wanted to do, this is the definition of Grand challenge. We want to show New York using all this wealth of social media data from different perspectives. So competing teams had totally different solutions. Very interesting. Somebody focused on a fashion discipline, like city of fashion, recommender systems, location recommender systems, and so on and so on. So speaking about Grand challenges, they have also tradition of these open-ended tasks. So in that sense, what we kind of discuss now as a hackathon could also fit Grand challenge.
Right. But there the checking wasn't on individual items whether they're correct or not. It was really on the overall look and feel of the thing.
Okay, but this is the more you have a jury that looks at this on the shelf, and then
the look and the feel of the thing.
They essentially grade the creativity and the quality of the output and okay. Yeah, I mean, this is also something that would be interesting to do, but I guess this would be two tracks within something like this, right? A bit the more qualitative versus the more quantitative.
Well, in that case, there was only the one track. There was only one track.
There was only one track take because at that time for the community was doing important to see what can we do. Everybody talks about this social multimedia wealth and so on. What can we do? You know, like let's start moving into building some systems that actually use it for something useful. Either tracking fashion trends, Hong Kong people did this, or location recommenders, what we did, and a few other groups as well, and so on and so on and so on. And just like saying here, there are many possibilities. It doesn't have to be really classic computer vision segmentation.
Yeah, so there
Yeah,
are
actually,
we can also track our fashion. Maybe find out who is wearing the same shirt.
So you changed it.
No, I mean,
I changed not to be the same as you, and you said you want to change.
I'm to recommendation.
There's just something that is difficult to handle, and especially coming back to the interactive part of things, right?